Hello and welcome back. If you're new here, hi, my name is Caitlin. I am the owner and maker behind Little Women Creations. You join me for my first video in my brand new house. We purchased this house on January 10th and we've slowly been moving in and unpacking since. So still a lot of organizing to go on here in my office. But I really wanted to record this video and get this out to you all. I know some of you who have been here for a while have told me that you love my podcast episodes and you really would like to see them again. So I have decided that for 2024, I kind of want to change up the format a little bit to keep myself more accountable. I want to have them focused more about everything I crocheted for that month. So that's why it's coming out at the beginning of February, most likely, because it's everything I crocheted over the month of January. After this podcast is when I will get back into doing, so it'll be finished objects, current whips, future projects, and then acquisitions, anything else like that. I don't have any acquisitions to show you today just because I haven't recorded a podcast in a while and I have gotten a lot. I also have a few videos coming out with some of the yarn that I've shown you all before on the podcasts, specifically the yarn that I've purchased while traveling. So that's going to be an entire video on its own. I don't want to keep repeating myself here. And if you haven't seen those videos, I'll add the playlist probably at the end, and then I'll add it in the description maybe too. So you can go back and watch some podcast episodes. We can get right into it. I've been anxious to sit down and go through everything that I've made. Like I just said, we moved into our house, so I really wasn't doing a lot of crocheting after my last market. My last market was December 17th. After that, I also decided to make some Christmas gifts because who would a crocheter be if they weren't last minute deciding to do Christmas gifts? I'll just talk about those quickly. I just did 2 beanies. I did a black velvet beanie for my sister using Camryn's Cute Creations velvet beanie pattern. And then I just did a ribbed beanie for my brother. That was just, I don't know. I just did a ribbed beanie pattern. It wasn't anything special. But those were the 2 Christmas gifts I made. But we can get right into the other objects that I actually made in January. I alluded to it, and I think I showed you guys too in my December market vlog. Video's up here if you want to go check it out. You can watch it after this video though. But I showed you that I was knitting a blanket, and I finished it. The ends are not woven in. There's a very specific reason for that. I don't know if you'll be able to see all of this, but this is the blanket. It's not long. It's it's very wide, but it's not very long. And because of that, I need to, I think, re-knit it. It's my first knitting project in a few years. I knit a hat for a friend in college, so that at least was 4 years ago. But overall, it definitely was a little bit of a learning curve again. This yarn, which is, I don't remember. I don't know. This colorway, I believe, is discontinued. It was a discontinued yarn by Yarn Bee, so I don't even know if you can buy it at the stores anymore. It was like Kite Tail, I think, was the color. But there's no stitch definition whatsoever, so it was the perfect thing for me to pick up and knit. And that was also one of the reasons why I decided to knit it, because I was trying to find patterns on Ravelry. I only had 1 skein of this, and I was just trying to make it stretch as far as I could. All of the crochet projects on Ravelry said you do not want to crochet with this because, like I just said, there's no stitch definition. It's such a thin skein of the yarn in general. It's almost impossible to be able to find these stitches. But I'm gonna have to frog it. I do have a few holes in here. Here's one. That's a pretty good sized hole. So it's not long enough for sure for a baby blanket. I think if I redo the proportions, make it a little shorter, it'll add some height and then it'll be fine. If anything, what I can do is I can sew in an elastic and make it like a cover for a baby carrier. Is that what they're called? Baby seat? Car seat? I don't know. I've never had a kid before. So I'm calling this a finished object. It's really soft. I actually really like it. The colors are perfect for my cousin's nursery that they're setting up. So I really want to use this, and that was kind of the purpose too, is I wanted to use stash yarn. I had no other purpose for this yarn. It worked out great. So we're going to redo this at some point. It is not a priority. She's due in May though, so it should be a priority soon. But this was technically the second thing I finished in 2024. And I did finish this before we moved. So it was one of the last things finished in the apartment. The next thing I have are some love bugs. Getting to the plushy side of things again. So these little cuties are little teeny tiny bugs, and their wings are like a heart. You can see, little heart shaped. So I only have 2 with me. I did make 8 total, but the other 6 are actually at a consignment store that I sell at. If you're interested in learning more about consignment stores and why you should consider it for your small business, check out the video up here too. So I have 2 of these left. I used Bernat blanket, baby blanket, and Sweet Snuggles light. All my scrap yarn. I think you can kind of see I have some scrap yarn up in this blue bin. And here's actually the red I used. So I used scrap yarn for it. Mainly pinks, purples, reds. I did use a cream color for wings for some of them too. But yeah, they're really cute. It was a free pattern that I found off of Instagram. I'm gonna set these down and then I'm gonna exactly tell you where it was from. It was Celestial CB Crochet. I'll have them somewhere for you to go check out, but the pattern was very simple. I'm selling them for $12 each. It's no-sew pattern, worked up really quick. I pretty much had the pattern memorized by the 2nd or 3rd love bug, so super easy, highly recommend it. Yeah, finish some of these guys. Next up, Classic Mushroom Boy. These are the Chonky Mushrooms by chonky.crochet, so not technically crochet. I made 9 in total. These ones, again, were made out of scrap yarn, so it's just kind of whatever I had laying around. I sell these for $12 each. These are a staple at my markets. If you've watched any of my market vlogs, you'll have seen them. But I used Bernat blanket and Sweet Snuggles lights again. This one actually has pink on top for his little spots, which is cute. I left the majority of them with the consignment shop. So I made 9 in total, 3, I'll have 6 there with them. And these ones, I don't think, I'm trying to remember why I didn't, oh, I know why. These ones I used 2 different colors in the white. So the start of this one especially is Sweet Snuggles light, and then it goes into Bernat baby blanket. I'm just gonna sell this as is. I have an event coming up in March that's called Milwaukee D-Stash, and the idea is that you sell items that maybe aren't up to the highest quality, items you were just testing out, seasonal, anything like that. Materials as well, actually, so yarn, any sort of crafting materials you can sell. But the purpose is it's supposed to be discounted. It's supposed to be so you can just clear out your inventory. So this one, after I made him, I think I made this one in the car, and I didn't realize it was 2 different yarns. Teddy, what's up? Beep, beep. Can you back up? Thank you. So that's why I didn't put him at the consignment store. I think that's maybe the same with these 2. I'm not sure, but staple, make them all the time. I think I'm going to start doing new colors. I really like this purple on top, so we'll see what else I have. The next one, which is, I think, one of my favorite orders to date. This order came in May 2023, and I just sent it out. I'm trying to just see what he's doing. Okay. Are you going to sit there like a goat pup? Okay, we'll continue. I a set of 12 coasters that are all based around the Evolutions, which are a Pokemon. I love Eevee, and so when this Etsy buyer reached out to me after buying a set of my cactus coasters, they're like, hey, how would you feel about doing Eevee coasters? And I was so excited. So we made 12 of them. 9 of them were Eevees and the different evolutions. And then 3 of them were Pokeballs. Thank you. So I don't have them anymore because I shipped them out, but I will post pictures all up here while I talk about them. They were all freehanded by myself. The customer picked out what the 3 Pokeballs would be, along with the 9 Eevees and Evolutions. I can try and name them off. I know them all, but I don't have them written down. So I know for sure I did Eevee, Vaporeon, Espeon, Umbreon, Sylveon, Leafeon, Jolteon, Glaceon, Flareon, Sylveon. I feel like that was pretty good. Did I say Jolteon already? I don't know. And then the 3 Pokeballs I did was a regular Pokeball, I did a Great Ball, and an Ultra Ball. So I was hyped. Like I said, I freehanded all of them. Okay. No. Beep, 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 beep. Come on. Beep, beep, beep. Thank you. I did use acrylic yarn for this project. I was considering purchasing cotton. I actually really wanted to do cotton from Hobie. I think it's their 24/7 like friend line. But it just got to the point where I knew this customer didn't want to be spending that much money on them. Yes, they would be using them, but they didn't want to spend like $50 on it. So I used scrap acrylic yarn that I had laying around, because then I didn't have to buy any yarn whatsoever. I just used all of this magnificent pile that I have. The seller has not received them yet, so I am so excited for their reaction. They actually asked me if they could send me a gift back, and I was like, yeah, you definitely can. But then after I printed the shipping label out and sent it, I realized it had my old address, so I will have to send them a message. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed making these. It was a fun challenge. I don't work with acrylic yarn often. I probably should, considering my stash. But it was just like fun to get into like my creative side again. I have not found any patterns for these, so it was so much fun. Can you lay down? Now it's become a puppy party. Yikes. This next one was also a custom order. Let me see if I can grab it without puppies going crazy. You might have been able to see it a little bit in the video, but this is a custom order for my mom. She has a coworker who is having their first baby, and they are deciding to do the nursery in buffalo theme. So I was tasked to create a buffalo, and I'm obsessed. It's hefty. It's definitely larger and a lot heavier than a newborn baby. I used a paid pattern from an Etsy seller. Their name is Sweet Oddity Art. I used a few different yarns. So this like kind of brown orangey is Sweet Snuggles Light, along with the dark brown. The horns are done with Bernat Baby Blanket. And then this is the faux fur by Lion Brand. I am obsessed with how this turned out. The pattern also came with how to make a mini one, how to make a longhorn cow, and then a mini longhorn cow, which I wasn't expecting those 3 patterns to also be included. So fun. This was such a fun project to do, And I did this right after we moved. This was the first thing that I made in the new house. Absolutely adorable. I even showed like my boss at work and stuff. Like it's so cute. So love how it turned out. It even has its little tail, has some feathers with it. I can't wait to get this to my mom so she can give it to her coworker and I can get pictures back. That's probably been one of my favorite projects that I've made already this year. But there definitely are things that I have coming up that I'm sure will turn into my absolute favorite project of 2024. We're coming up to the last thing I have made in 2024. This is another object that I don't have, so I'll post a lovely picture up here for you, but this is another custom order. I actually got this custom order at my last market. There was someone who purchased a velvet beanie hat for their sister, niece, one of the two, and was like, can you make me one too in this color? And they picked up a purple color. So I made them a purple beanie and they were able to pick it up before I moved, which was great. I didn't have to worry about shipping it from the new house or trying to coordinate with them. It's a discontinued color from Michaels. It's the color Prince. So I ended up finding someone on eBay that was selling a skein for the same price as a regular like skein of yarn from Michaels right now. So that was great because I really thought I was going to have to overpay. This pattern is a paid pattern from Camryn's Cute Creations. I've mentioned this pattern before. I absolutely love it. It's a great market seller for me. It has actually been one of my best market sellers in the last few vlogs that I've done. So it definitely is worth the pattern price. You're so silly. You lay down. We're back to still being a puppy party. As you can tell, I've been gone all day. Yeah, you don't get to see me all day anymore. Next, we're coming to my whips. So these are my current works in progress or my recent whips that have turned into unfinished objects or UFOs. Some of them have turned into UFOs for specific reasons, and I'll let you know. But the first one is my granny rectangle blanket. Now it's not like a actual rectangle. It's more of a slight rectangle. You won't be able to see all of it because it's pretty big. But I'll show you some. So this is just a granny stitch. I didn't follow a pattern for it. It's made using Bernat Forever Fleece. This is the color Branch. So far it's 6 skeins, so it's pretty heavy. I think I'm going to purchase at least 3 more skeins though. I want to crochet 2 more on here, see how it feels. The goal is to be able to have it wrap around me. And then I also think I want to add tassels in the corners, so maybe that's why we need 3 skeins. This is just going to be my office blanket. I'll probably, I don't know if I'll do a house tour on this channel. Let me know down below if you want a house tour. But I did actually start, as if I have time, I started another channel that is called Eco Forward Caitlin, and the idea of that channel is to be able to document my sustainability, low waste, minimalism lifestyle that my goal is. So I just put it separate because I don't want to infiltrate my business stuff, right? It's more of like a fun project. That one is extremely low-key. But I'm definitely doing a house tour on that. But let me know if you want a house tour on this channel. I can do something quick. So yeah, this will just be a house blanket. We have a sunroom, which I think was the purpose of that little tangent. I also want to be able to have the blanket in the sunroom. The next one, I realize oh, it's right here. 1 second. Sorry. I thought I had everything and I do not. The next one I have is the Vera shawl. This is made using various hand-dyed yarns that I just don't have enough of to make one project, or like I didn't know what I was going to do with it. Initially, I wanted these colors to look like the Three Sisters in Hocus Pocus. So we've got a red, like a greeny purple, and then a yellow. But it didn't turn out big enough. But this is where it's at. This blue here is, sorry, she's like looking at something. This blue here is leftover from Lion Brand Shawl in a Ball. I used it to make a hexagon cardigan, so this was just the leftover I had. This is using a granny stitch. You increase on one side, and then you just stay consistent on the other side. It's getting to the point where it's pretty large. It's still not at the length that I want it, so this is going to be a UFO for the time being because I need to get some more yarn. At this point, it might just turn into like a scrap yarn. We'll see. But I need some more. Just for another, honestly, like maybe 6 more? 4 to 6 more rows. I really like how it's turning out though. This is a free pattern. It's on a blog called KT and the Squid. It's really a mindless crochet project, which is what I love about it. But need more yarn for that, and then we're good to go. The next one is a custom order. It's actually a pretty big custom order. Let me grab all of it. It's all of these. Right now they're circles, but they will turn into granny squares. This is for a twin blanket. Now, it's actually meant for a baby right now, so it'll be gifted as a baby blanket. But they wanted it as close to a twin size as possible. One, because this baby's gonna be tall. The dad is 7'2". So they wanted to be able to gift a blanket that can be used for many, many, many years. Which is why we're gonna be doing, as of right now, 54 squares. I'm not there yet. I'm just about halfway though. I have about 24 for sure. But we're using 6 different colors, and then there's a 7th color that will be the actual square, and then the color that connects them all. I'm using a combination of loops and threads, and then Camryn 1 pound. Some of it's impeccable, some of it is the loops and thread, like their value, whatever that one is. But we got a few different colors. So we have like a yellow mustard, an orange, we have a light cream, and then a brown. And actually, sorry, this brown is Big Twist, great value. I used this actually for my heart cardigan sweater. And then the other color we have is a very, very light peach pink-ish, and then like a rust. So right now I'm just working on making the circles, various different ones. I'm trying to get some fun color combinations in there. So if you want to help me out, maybe just drop some colors in the comments and I'll figure it out. I'm not sure. But I've been having fun with these. This is a free pattern. At least I found a free version of it on her blog. But it is the Autumn Island Time Blanket pattern by Mallory Crawl. I don't know what their Instagram handle is because I just took it off of their blog, but they do have an Instagram handle, so if I can find it, I'll put it down below. So yeah, we're just gonna keep going with these. It's gonna be a project. The person that ordered it needs it done by middle of April. So at this point, we're in the last week of January. I have time to do this, right? I'm already almost halfway done with it. I only have one market right now. That's March 3rd. And that one, like I said, is that Milwaukee D-Starch market. So I don't have much more to prep for it because the purpose is to D-Starch. The next one I have here, I just realized the next one on my list, have to go grab. So I'll do this one first. They're both hexagon cardigans, so it's nothing crazy. But this is a custom order for a hexagon cardigan. This, sorry, so make sure I don't lose my stitch. Not that it really matters. I use the tutorial by Passionate Goods, Passionate Kelsie, here on YouTube, so I'll link that below. But this is using Camryn Simply Soft. This green color I had in my stash, so it actually worked out perfect that they wanted to do pink, purple, and then some sort of green if it looked good. So when I found this, I was like, this is perfect. It reminds me a little bit of like Easter, but it's not meant to be an Easter cardigan. It's gonna look so cute when it's done. So I'm not very far at all, right? Like if you're looking at it like a cardigan. The person who is buying it wears between like a 3X and a 4X. So I'm gonna add a few more rounds onto it, and then I'll connect it and make the arm, or finish the arm sleeves. I'll have to see at that point how long it actually is, because then I might need to add some length to the bottom. But I love hexagon cardigans. Again, it's like a mindless crochet project, and these colors are turning out so cute. Okay, let me grab the other hexagon cardigan real quick. Alright, so I actually don't know where I put the whip. It might be downstairs by the couch where I like sit in the evenings, but I do have the yarn for it. It's Bernat Baby Crushed Velvet. It's in the color Gray Mist, so it kind of has some fun variations of gray and white. Yeah, it's just another hexagon cardigan. It's very similar to this one, just this color. And that one is just for stock. It's not for anyone specific, just for there. All right, last things I have are my future projects, what I'm going to be working on next. So like I mentioned, I only have one market planned for 2023. That one will be on March 3rd. I don't have anything to prep for it really, besides just getting all of my stuff together, because that is the de-stash market. So with that, I do have a couple of projects that I want to work on, get started or finished. Of course, I want to finish this blanket, so this will hopefully be a finished whip. My goal is probably by the end of March. I really don't want to have to buy more yarn right now, and I don't have more yarn for it at the moment. All right, can you lay down? Hey, come on. Good lay. No. Can you lay down? Good job. The next custom order that I have to make is actually a Looney Tunes character. It is Roadrunner. I have picked out a pattern by Purple 27 Crochet from Etsy. It is the only Roadrunner pattern I can find, but we're going to be using Sweet Snuggles Light for it. It's going to be a fun little plush, so I'll get that going. I have to buy the pattern still. I'm a little hesitant about buying the pattern. The seller on Etsy gets like 4.6 stars, but there's a lot of people who say the pattern is poorly written. It's not worth the $5 for it. It definitely was not edited or like pattern tested. It's very vague. There's not a lot of pictures, so I really don't want to spend my money on it. I know it's just one project. I also don't want to have to wing it. So I'm gonna have to bite the bullet and get that pattern. Hopefully it turns out good. I consider myself a advanced crocheter, so I'm not too worried if I can't figure out parts of the pattern, or if it is kind of a simpler pattern with not many directions. The next thing that I want to challenge myself to is I actually want to pick up a knitting project, and I'm wanting to use this yarn. I think you can see it. I'm sure if you are part of any alt knot videos here on YouTube, you've seen this yarn before. This is Red Heart Super Saver Stripes in the color Jewel Tone. This colorway took a craze because it looks, oh, love it, factory knot right there. We'll show the side. It's colors that remind everyone of Sally's patchwork dress from The Nightmare Before Christmas. And I want to make myself a jumper, sweater, whatever you call it, and I want to knit it. So I have a very basic pattern picked out. I'll link the YouTube video down below. I didn't pick up the pattern name before I filmed this. So I do want to start this. However, because it's not cold, granted it's still a little breezy here in Wisconsin, but we're not in winter anymore. So I am not too anxious to pick it up right away. It's just something that's on my want list. After that, I just have plenty of projects that I'm always wanting to pick up and work on. I have all of this yarn to use over here. I want to do a video because I have so many skeins of the yellow Sweet Snuggles Light color. I kind of just want to crochet all of the bees that I would sell this year, and just get it done and over with so I can just grab bees as needed. So maybe with that I can do some sort of timed crochet challenge if that's something you all would be interested in. Definitely let me know in the comments. Besides that though, like I said, I don't really want to cover acquisitions in this video just because I have had a lot of acquisitions since my last podcast episode. I don't want to bore you. A lot of these will be used in future makes that are coming up, so I'm just going to wait on those. With that, I will leave you with the first video in the new house in 2024. This is a first for a lot of things. It's my first video in 2024, my first video in the house, my first video in my new office. This is so much better than the closet space that I had. Major glow up. So thank you all so much for your patience again with me, for sticking around, and for anyone who comments. I love this little community that we've created. I love seeing comments from you guys, love interacting with you all. So if that sounds like a good time, let me know down below what you want to see next. Maybe if there's an animal you think that I should be making for my markets. I did buy yarn to make chickens, so we're gonna hop on that trend. I also bought yarn to make pickles, so we're gonna get going on those. But yeah, I appreciate you all. If you're still here, thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.